In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, nestled deep within the ancient forest, lay a place known only as the Whispering Woods. Few dared to enter, and those who did rarely returned. The forest was an enigma, a shroud of terror that hung heavy in the minds of the locals. One chilling autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting eerie shadows through the twisted trees, a group of 4 friends decided to challenge the legends that plagued their small town for generations. They were adventurers seeking thrills, but they were about to discover a nightmare they could never have imagined. The air grew colder as the group ventured deeper into the woods, the silence broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath their boots. It was as though the forest itself was holding its breath, anticipating their intrusion. A thick, creeping fog began to roll in, shrouding the forest in an impenetrable mist. The friends pressed on, the feeling of dread growing with each step. Hours passed, and they stumbled upon a clearing where an ancient, gnarled oak tree stood. Its branches reached out like skeletal fingers, and its bark was etched with grotesque faces that seemed to mock their presence. In the center of the clearing, they found a crumbling stone altar adorned with long-dried bloodstains. As night descended, the forest came alive with unsettling sounds. Whispering voices drifted through the trees, murmuring secrets that clawed at the edges of the friends' sanity. Shadows danced in the corners of their vision, and unseen eyes watched their every move. Panic began to grip them, but they couldn't find their way back. It was as if the forest itself had shifted, trapping them within its malevolent grasp. Suddenly, one of the friends, Emily, screamed in terror. She had seen something lurking among the trees, a grotesque, twisted figure with elongated limbs and hollow, soulless eyes. It moved with a supernatural grace, and its movements were almost too fast to follow. It was as if a nightmare had taken physical form. The group ran, their footsteps echoing through the haunted woods, but the creature pursued them relentlessly. It whispered their darkest fears and secrets into their ears, causing them to doubt each other and themselves. The forest seemed to conspire against them, leading them deeper into the heart of darkness. As the night wore on, exhaustion overcame them, and they were finally cornered by the creature. It loomed over them, its malevolence palpable, and then it spoke in a voice that echoed with centuries of suffering. It revealed that the Whispering Woods were a place of ancient curses, a prison for vengeful spirits, and a gateway to unspeakable horrors. The friends were never seen again, and their disappearance only added to the chilling tales of the Whispering Woods. Locals warned newcomers to stay far away, but the lure of the unknown continued to draw in those foolish enough to seek out the forest's secrets. The legend of the Whispering Woods lives on, a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and the darkest fears of the human soul are brought to life. Dare you enter and risk becoming another lost soul, forever trapped in the nightmare of the Whispering Woods? Years had passed since the horrifying events in the Whispering Woods, but the legends persisted, drawing in thrill seekers and paranormal investigators from around the world. Among them was Sarah, a renowned paranormal researcher who was determined to uncover the truth behind the forest's malevolent secrets. Sarah arrived in the small town near the Whispering Woods, armed with state-of-the-art equipment, a team of fellow researchers, and an unshakable resolve. She had studied every account of the forest's horrors and was convinced that there was more to the story than mere superstition. As night fell and the moon cast an eerie glow over the ancient forest, Sarah and her team ventured into the woods. They moved cautiously, their senses heightened, and their equipment recording every nuance of the environment. The air was thick with tension, and the trees seemed to whisper ancient secrets to one another. It didn't take long for the forest to reveal its dark secrets. Unearthly shadows danced in the moonlight, and voices carried on the wind, speaking of long-forgotten sins and curses. Sarah's equipment detected inexplicable anomalies,
disembodied voices, temperature drops, and strange electromagnetic fluctuations. Then they stumbled upon the same gnarled oak tree and stone altar where the previous group had met their doom.
Sarah couldn't ignore the foreboding feeling that they were being watched by malevolent forces lurking just beyond their vision. Her determination, however, drove her forward. As the night wore on, they encountered bizarre phenomena, apparitions of long-dead townsfolk, ghostly apparitions that seemed to mourn their fate, and unsettling echoes of ancient rituals. It was as if the Whispering Woods were a portal to a nightmarish realm that bridged the gap between the living and the dead. Suddenly, a torrential downpour began, as if the forest itself was attempting to wash away their intrusion. Lightning illuminated the twisted trees, and thunder roared like an angry deity. Sarah knew they were getting closer to the heart of the forest's malevolence. Deep within the woods, they found a hidden chamber beneath the roots of an ancient tree. In its center, an ornate ancient book Tahian lay open, filled with incantations and symbols. Sarah realized that this was the source of the forest's malevolence, a cursed grimoire that bound the spirits to the woods. As Sarah reached for the book, a chilling presence enveloped her. The malevolent figure that had terrorized the previous group emerged from the shadows. It spoke of its imprisonment and the torment it had endured for centuries. But instead of attacking, it offered Sarah a choice: release it and suffer the consequences, or seal it away forever and end the curse. Sarah hesitated, torn between her thirst for knowledge and the lives at stake. With resolve, she chose to seal the entity within the book once more. As she did, the forest convulsed, unleashing a tempest of otherworldly energy. With the malevolent spirit sealed away, the forest seemed to sigh in relief, and the unnatural phenomena ceased. Sarah and her team made their way out of the Whispering Woods, the curse broken, and the forest once again shrouded in mystery rather than malevolence. But Sarah knew that the forest's secrets were far from exhausted. She left with her team, vowing to return, for the Whispering Woods would always beckon those who dared to uncover its chilling mysteries, and she was not one to turn away from the unknown. As Sarah and her team emerged from the Whispering Woods, they carried with them the weight of their harrowing encounter. The cursed grimoire now sealed within a protective case, they knew that the malevolent spirit would never haunt the forest again. The legends that had gripped the town for centuries had been put to rest. As they drove away from the forest, the rain began to subside, and a brilliant full moon emerged from behind the clouds, casting a tranquil glow over the landscape. It was as if the very heavens were celebrating the end of the curse. Back in the small town, the locals had sensed the shift in the forest's energy.